Very good morning, students. Now this is the video for the differentiation between the right and the left lung. Okay, let us first find the anatomical position, borders and surfaces so that it will be better to tell you about the differences between the right and left lung. Now this is the apex of the lung. Here it is the diaphragmatic surface or the base of the lung. This is the anterior border which is sharp starting from apex going right up to the and another border which is covering to the base, and this is the inferior sharp border. Okay, and then there is a posterior border. Thus there is an anterior sharp border, there is an inferior border, there is a rounded ill-defined posterior border is there, and then there is an apex and the base. Now there are mainly two surfaces. This is the sternocostal and this surface is called as the mediastinal surface. Okay. Now after just having this brief introduction of the lung, let us see what is difference between the right and the left lung. When we see the difference between the size, shape about this, the left lung is quite, right lung is quite large and sharp. It is quite large and it is sharp. The right lung is large and sharp. What does it mean? It is quite heavy. That means the weight of the right lung is more than that of the left lung, and it is short in the sense that the distance between the apex and the base is less as compared to that of the left lung. The reason being that, see the difference. Reason being, this is the left lung and this is the right lung. The difference is because that the right dome of the diaphragm, is at a higher level because the liver is present behind that. Okay, liver is there, and then there is it is a broad, and the broad, if you see this, the lung that is onto the right side, it is quite broader as compared to that of the left lung. Now these are the differences of the sizes, and the weight. The weight is more in the right lung naturally. And then we come to the lobes. There are three lobes, upper lobe and the lower lobes in the right lung. If you see the lobes, this is the upper lobe, middle lobe, and the lower are the inferior lobe. So, and this is because of the presence of the two fissures, the fissure which is starting from this posterior border here, then going obliquely downward and cutting to the inferior border. This fissure is called as oblique fissure, and from obliques a horizontal fissure goes here. See, this is the horizontal. Thus there are two fissures, an oblique and a horizontal, and they divide the right lung into three lobes, upper, middle and inferior lobes here. But on the other hand, if you see the left lung, the left lung is having only two lobes because there is one fissure only, and that is the oblique fissure. So it is the superior lobe and that of the inferior lobe. See, these fissures are very deep. They are going right up to the hilum and they divide almost completely to the lung. Both oblique and horizontal in case of the right lung. Now, if you see the border, anterior border of the right and left lung, compare it. If you see this anterior border is straight. Though it is short, but it is straight border is there. This is the anterior border of the right lung, which has the three lobes. But if you will see the anterior border of the left lobe, you see here anterior, there is a notch is present here, and this notch is called as the cardiac notch. And why this notch is present in the left lung? Because there is the presence of the heart onto the left side, which pushes this border, anterior sharp border. If we see the hilum of both the right and the left lung here, then what we will see the hilum, then there is a bronchus. If you see the bronchus, there are two bronchus. See this? That means this is the primary bronchus here divides and then it enters into the right lung. So there is a two bronchus. This is above the artery, hence it is called as the eparterial bronchus, and the other is the below this artery, so it is called as the hyparterial bronchus. But if you will see into the left lobe, then there is only one principal bronchus is going inside the lung. Here there are two bronchus, they are going into the lung, eparterial and hyparterial bronchus. Above this there will be the presence of the pulmonary artery. Right pulmonary artery is here above this bronchus, as well as above on the left side also above the principal. This is the pulmonary artery is there. Now anterior and inferior, these are the pulmonary veins here. See this? These are the pulmonary veins are anterior and inferior. So the arrangement of the right hilum and the left hilum of the left lung is almost the same, except that here there are two principal principal bronchus divides into two, and two bronchus they are entering inside the hilum, where in the left side there is only one bronchus is entering in the hilum. Otherwise pulmonary artery and vein, they have the same relation into the right as well as into the left lobe. So these are the differences between the right and the lobe. The most important difference, left lung, right and left lung. The most important difference between right and left lungs are that of the fissure and the lobes. So there are three lobes, okay, with the two fissure, oblique and horizontal, and on to the left there is only one fissure, and thus there are the two lobes. That is important difference are these two. Thank you very much for watching this difference between the right and the left lung.